Hey guys. One equal part of whole or group as a unit fraction. Now here's your key word. We're only talking about one part. No matter how many parts, it could have 4 parts, it could have 100 parts, but we're only looking at one part. Talking about one, that means the numerator is always going to be 1 when you're dealing with a unit fraction. 1/2 is a unit fraction because that numerator, which is your top number right there, is 1. If you had 1/3, 1 out of 3, that's a unit fraction. 1/4, 1/100th, all of those, because every one of them have a 1 in the numerator. Doesn't matter what the denominator is, but the numerator has to be 1 for a unit fraction. So Mr. Carter has 6 of his new wooden deck. Draw a picture of what the completed deck looks like. So here is 6 parts he's doing. So if we've got 1 done, then how many more do we need? He's got to have 6. He's got 1, so how many are left? Yep, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, we need 1 more to make 5, 6. Okay? So this is what his deck's going to look like. Right now, he's only done this much right here. So he's got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more sections to do before he's finished. 1/6 is your unit fraction. Okay? All right. Now turn the page. So this little girl is painting a fence. Excuse me. She plans to divide the fence into 4 equal sections. So she paints 1/4 of the fence to show how the fence might look after she finishes painting. So we're going to draw kind of a little rectangle. She's divided into 4 2, 3, 4, and she has painted only one of those. She's just gotten started, so she's only painted one of those sections. So that means she's so far 1 out of the 4 sections. So she's only painted 1/4 so far. Now, using this information we just did, let's answer these. So how many equal parts are in the whole fence? That means is how much is she painting? Or how much has she painted? Only 1, so we're only counting 1. Then it says to write a fraction of the painted part of the fence. So she's painted 1. She's painted 4 stands for how many total pieces there are. Now if you look at the vocabulary box, a fraction is a number that names part of a whole or part of a group. The number of equal parts compared to the number of equal parts in the whole or in the whole group. For example, 1/6. Now, we just did. We're only talking about 1 of the 4. That's 1/4. That's a unit fraction. Okay? Don't get caught up in all those words. It's the same thing we just talked about. All right, now we're going to move on over to the butterfly. Now, yellow shirts for the Butterfly Watchers Club. What fraction of the t-shirts is blue? Draw a group of t-shirts there. All right, so they've given us a little spot there to draw. For a t-shirt. Now, if you're not the best t-shirt drawer, which one arm's too big here, then you could always just draw some circles. And we've got to have 3 yellows. So there's one. See if I can draw 2 more of these. Don't you be laughing at my t-shirts. All right. There we go. So, what fraction names the part of the group that is blue? So, how many are blue? Right there, because there's one that's blue. This bottom number, which is your denominator, says how many total t-shirts are we talking about? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 goes right there because we have a total of 4 t-shirts. A unit fraction names one equal part of a whole group or whole or a group. The number of equal parts counted is 1. For example, 1/8 is red 1/8. One blue one out of 4, 1/4. Okay? And now we're going to move on. You're going to look at one. This one, you don't have a picture to look at, but you could always draw one. You have 5 blue cubes, 1 red cube. Just draw 5 boxes. 3, 4, 5. And those will be blue, so we'll put a B in there. Now we're not finished because we got to do one more, and it's going to be red. And then what fraction of the cubes is red? You're going to put here. Here you're going to name the part or group that's blue in a fraction, just like we did right here. Then on the back, this is just like that first question, but you're talking about red peppers and green peppers. Problem, write a fraction to name the part of the whole or part of the group that is. We're looking for blue again. And this one is interesting. You've got a shape here and you've got to complete it. This is a 6. So this is just like what we did right here at the beginning, where they gave you part of it and you had to finish it. You have to do the same thing here. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total. 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, 6, 6. So that's the whole thing. So that's how you do that. So here's 1/3 of the shape. You've got to finish it. There's half. You've got to finish that. Okay? Now, I helped you out with that one. You try and work on. It's time to pause the video. Work on those questions. Shouldn't take you too long. Those should be easy breezy. And then start the video back. While you're working on that, I'm going to work on answering these questions and I'll catch you back here in a few minutes. All right, work carefully. Okay guys, let's see how you did. Now, on the check understanding, if you have an answer to all those questions, pause it again. Make sure you've answered all those before we go through. Jess had 5 blue cubes and 1 red cube. What fraction of the cube is red? Now we did this much together. We have 1 red and 6. This 1 stands for how many are red. The 6 stands for how many total pieces there are. We have 2 bags. One's blue, one's yellow. So one of the bags is blue out of 2 total bags. Now this is a little different. You have a group here instead of something that's divided up into pieces, like a pizza or a candy bar. This is like a group. We've got different colored bags. We've got a blue one and a yellow one. So one is blue and we have 2 total bags in that group. All right, on the other side, we have 7 red peppers, 1 green pepper. What fraction of the pepper is green? 1/8. 1 green pepper out of a total of 8. Now don't mess up and say 1/7. Denominator, because you have 7 plus 1 more. That's why 8 is your denominator. So if you put 7, erase that and fix it, because that's easy to do if you're kind of breezing through this kind of quickly and say, oh, 1/7. No, no, no. 1 is green. The red ones and the green ones together, which would be 8. Now, Laura's square is the same size as Kenji's square, right there. The 2 blue parts are the same size. Are the 2 parts the same size? Yes, because, now here's the reason why. Both are the exact same size square. Cut Laura's out, lay it on top of Kenji's, it would be the same size. And they're both cut. They're the same size. And because they're both cut into 4 pieces, that means this and this, if you were to cut this apart and put it on top of here, it would fit perfectly, because this is the same amount of blue space as this one is. Okay? So yes, both squares are the same size and both have 4. It's the only reason that works. Now, if Kenji's was divided into 6 pieces, then the more pieces you have, the smaller those parts will be. And we'll get into that a little bit later. What fraction? Write a fraction to name the part that's blue. We have 1 out of 4, so 1/4. We have it's 1/2, and we have 1 part that's blue out of 8, so it's 1/8. Remember, your denominator has to tell how many total pieces, not just the yellow. Then at the bottom, we did this one together. You just need to draw 5 more rectangles on the other side of that to show 1, 2, 3, and one of them is yellow. This one tells you that there are 2 pieces, so you should draw the bottom part of that. Okay? All right, guys. Now, the next we meet, we're going to look at representing and naming fractions of a whole cut into pieces. That will be a whole that's cut up into several smaller pieces. Okay?